In this video, we will be adding integers. Now, what that means is we're going to add positive and negative numbers. We have the rule written here for us. It says if we have like signs, you're going to add the numbers and you're going to keep whatever sign they have. For example, if you have 2 plus 3, they both have the same sign. They're both positive numbers. The 2 is positive and the 3 is positive. So when you add them together, you add 2 plus 3, you get 5, and you keep their sign. Their sign's positive, so it's going to be positive 5, and that's how we find the answer. If they're both negative, if you have negative 2 plus negative 3, now sometimes they're going to be written like this, but most of the time they're going to have parentheses around them. Negative 2 plus negative 3. You don't do anything different because of the parentheses. The parentheses are just showing those are negative numbers, just so you don't get confused with too many signs in the problem. Now, both of these numbers are negative, so the signs are alike. So we're going to add these signs, add these numbers, and we're going to keep the sign that they have, and they're both negative. So negative 2 plus negative 3 is a negative 5. That's how we do like signs. Now, unlike signs, that's if one's positive and one's negative. We're going to subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the larger number. So let's erase this right here and look at a couple of those. Let's say, example 3, we have a negative 2 plus a 3. Now, the 2 is negative and the 3 is positive. Since the signs are not alike, you subtract the two numbers. You just go the big number minus the little number in your head. 3 minus 2 gives you 1. Now, what sign it's going to be, though, the sign comes from the bigger number. So which number is bigger? Is the 2 bigger or is the 3 bigger? Since the 3 is bigger, the 3 is a positive number, then the answer is positive. So negative 2 plus 3 is a positive 1. Well, let's switch that. Let's say it's 2 plus a negative 3. Okay, these are unlike signs. So what we'll do is we'll subtract the two numbers. 3 minus 2 gives us a 1. And then we figure out which sign we keep. Which one is the bigger number? Is 2 a bigger number? Is 3 a bigger number? 3 is the bigger number, and since the 3 is negative, then the answer will be a negative 1. So again, if the signs are not alike, you subtract the numbers and you keep the sign of the larger number. Okay? Let's move on to some more questions, some more examples. If I've got negative 5 plus 2, the first thing you've got to do is you figure out, are your signs like signs or are they unlike signs? If it's a negative 5 and that's a positive 2, those are unlike signs. So you subtract the two numbers. Don't pay any attention to the signs while you subtract them. You just take the 5 and the 2, you subtract, you get 3, right? Okay, now you figure out which number is the larger number. Again, don't pay any attention to the signs when you're trying to figure out the larger number. Is 5 a larger number or is 2 the larger number? Since 5 is the larger number and the 5 is negative, then our answer will be a negative 3. So negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. Okay, if we have negative 8 plus a negative 4. Okay, first you look. Are the signs like signs or are they unlike signs? This particular example, they are like signs. Since they are like signs, the rule says to add the two numbers together. You ignore the negative signs or any signs and you just add the two numbers, 8 and 4. 8 and 4 gives us 12 when we add them together. Now the signs from 8 and 4, they're both negative numbers, so that means our answer is going to be a negative. So negative 8 plus negative 4 gives me a negative 12. Another example, let's do 10 plus a negative 3. Okay, check to see if your signs are like signs or are they unlike signs. Since they are not alike, there's a positive 10 and a negative 3. The rule tells us to subtract the numbers. 10 minus 3 gives me 7. Then we look to see is the larger number, because we're going to use the sign from the larger number. So is 10 larger or is 3 larger? Of course 10 is larger. 10 is a positive number, so my answer is positive. So 10 plus a negative 3 is a positive 7. One more example to make sure we've got this. If I have a negative 15 plus 2. The negative 15 may be written in parentheses. It may not be. It doesn't matter. The parentheses will not change it at all whatsoever. All that parentheses does is makes it where the negative sign doesn't get confusing. You know that the negative sign belongs with the 15. It's just grouping that negative sign with the number. So look at your numbers. Are they like signs or are they unlike signs? They're unlike. So the rule tells us to subtract the two numbers. 15 minus 2 gives me 13. Then we choose which number is larger. Is it 15 or is it 2? It's 15. Take the sign from 15. 15 is negative. So that means our answer will be negative. Therefore, we have negative 15 plus 2 is a negative 13. That will be pretty much all there is on adding integers.